fabulous Rayya Ghul. I'm really genuinely interested. I don't know if we're going to agree at the end of this, Rayya, because Rayya is going to talk to us, ironically, about how talking is bad for you.
Hello, I'm Rayya Ghul. I'm a lecturer at the University of Edinburgh. I teach people how to hold solution-focused conversations, and I'm the author of a solution-focused self-help book, The Power of the Next Small Step. So my dangerous idea is that talking about your problems is bad for you. So why do I say that? Because we're told that it's good to talk. So basically, it's because it's what the research shows. The main way that we tend to talk to each other when we have problems and we go to each other for help is through adopting a problem-solving approach. And that in itself is basically the problem. Research shows that if you use a problem-focused approach to help people with their problems, what tends to happen is that if they're feeling bad when they went in, those bad feelings reduce very, very little. Any positive feelings that they might have had going into this conversation will have gone, and actually, into the negative, you'd actually be feeling a bit worse. And I think worst of all, what happens is you get a very, very small sense of your self-efficacy, and that is your sense of your ability to make things happen in the world. So there's not really a big result there. So that means it's not really very efficient. So why is that? Well, the problem-solving approach is based on three basic principles. One is that you have to find something that's wrong and fix it. You have to find something, if that doesn't work, you have to find maybe something that shouldn't be there and you take it away. And the third thing is that perhaps something's missing or deficient and you have to add something to it. Now, if you think about a washing machine, that makes total sense, doesn't it? Because, if it goes wrong, you're looking for something that's broken that you have to fix. You're looking for something that might have got stuck that you want to take away. Or you might be thinking, oh, it needs a new part. And that makes complete sense with washing machines, because with washing machines, you know how they should function when they're working properly, but they have a sense of an ideal machine. It doesn't work so well when you start to apply it to human beings. It might work quite well with biomedicine because actually the body has a kind of mechanical element to it. So yes, we give people medicine, that's an addition. We might take away a nasty appendix, or we might mend a broken bone. Those are good problem-solving approaches. But when it comes to people's lives and their feelings and their relationships, these are not problems. Generally, they're situations, they're messes. So problem solving works fantastically, even with the most complicated of problems, but it doesn't work with complex systems. And people are complex, and the systems that they live in, their relationships, their communities, etc., are complex. So when we have these conversations, what's happening is that we're tending to ask we're tending to ask questions which throw up the ideas, which is that people are deficient, that they need something that they haven't already got, or that they need to stop or take away doing something. So that's probably why, and microanalysis, which is a conversation analysis technique, tends to show this, they end up having these bad feelings. But I think it's much worse than that. And the reason I think that talking about your problems in this way is really bad for you is because what it does is that over time, when you're constantly having these kinds of conversations, what happens is that pretty much every human being on the planet, because most of us have had these kinds of conversations, end up thinking that we are a problem. And when you think you're a problem, well, what do? You have to solve yourself. And so what happens is that we spend a huge amount of our time thinking that we're not good enough, that we need fixing, that something needs to be added. I need to be thin before I can have a boyfriend. I need to have money before I can do, make my dream come true. I need I need to stop doing something in order to be a better person. And all of these are based on some kind of assumption that there's an ideal person who I should be. And that's another really toxic idea, because what you're doing when you're in that situation is you don't have any access to yourself and who you are right now and all the amazing things that you've ever done in your life just to survive as a human being. We have resources, we have things that we've been doing, there are people in our lives, there are situations that we've been in, there are skills that we've developed. If you've been lucky enough to have a wild childhood, then obviously you'll have those kind of risk-taking resources, etc. Who you are right now is just who you are right now. There is no other special person you're supposed to be. So what can we do instead of having these toxic conversations? Well, we can have solution-focused conversations. And they're a bit different because they're based on an assumption that, you have these resources and strengths and that you have done something right in your life. And the conversations is about kind of helping people to articulate those and connect with those aspects of themselves again so that they can move forward towards what they want. So we would ask questions like, what would you like to be different instead of what's happening right now? And how would that be different? And what's your best hope for how that might make things better? And let's have a look at what's happening right now. What's going well right now? Let's have a look at your past. Did you ever have a situation like this before? Could you draw on it? Could you do the same things again? How are you going to know that things are getting better? What would be the first sign? And if you were going to take a small step as a kind of an experiment to see how you can just move forward, what would that be? So there are lots and lots of these kinds of questions, and research has shown, interestingly, if you compare problem-focused with solution-focused questions, solution-focused questions have a large effect on raising positive emotions, and after the conversation is finished, you feel better, in reducing negative feelings, so there's a significant drop in bad feelings, and I think most importantly, there's a really big leap in self-efficacy, which is that sense that we can actually make things happen in our lives. Thank you.